You guys, this story has exploded again, and it's causing serious waves online. Royal commentator Neil Sean has reignited one of the most controversial debates surrounding Meghan Markle and the birth of Archie Mountbatten-Windsor, and let me be clear from the start, there is no verified evidence proving any wrongdoing. But what's fascinating is how these discussions refuse to die. Why? Because from the very beginning, the handling of Archie's birth was surrounded by secrecy, confusion, and shifting narratives that left a lot of people asking questions. Whether you support Meghan or criticize her, the communication strategy at that time created a vacuum, and in 2026, that vacuum still fuels speculation. Let's rewind to 2019. When Archie was born, the announcement process was noticeably different from previous royal births. Unlike the traditional photo call outside the hospital steps, something we saw with other senior royals, Meghan and Prince Harry chose a far more private approach. No immediate hospital steps reveal. No detailed labor timeline. Even the location details initially appeared inconsistent across media briefings. Buckingham Palace later clarified the timeline, but by then, online forums were already dissecting every detail. In today's digital world, once doubt starts trending, it doesn't fade, it multiplies. Critics argue that the secrecy contradicted the couple's public positioning at the time. Remember, this was during a period when the Sussexes were both advocating for media reform while also benefiting from global publicity. That tension, wanting privacy but also maintaining public relevance, created a perception problem. And perception in the royal sphere is everything. When information changes or appears unclear, people fill in the blanks themselves. That doesn't mean accusations are true, but it does explain why narratives grow. Neil Sean's recent commentary, from what's publicly available, doesn't present hard proof of any scandal. What he does highlight is the ongoing public distrust and the questions that have lingered for years. That's an important distinction. Commentators often frame discussions around what people are asking, rather than presenting verified evidence. And that framing is powerful. It keeps stories alive without necessarily confirming anything. In the case of Meghan, every past controversy, from family tensions to media lawsuits, amplifies how audiences interpret new commentary. Let's also talk about the broader cultural moment. Around 2019 to 2020, online conspiracy culture was exploding globally. Social media algorithms rewarded sensational claims. Royal gossip channels grew rapidly. And Meghan, as one of the most polarizing modern royals, became a lightning rod. Supporters saw racism and unfair targeting. Critics saw strategic media manipulation. Both sides felt justified. The result? Any irregularity, even a minor one, became fuel for larger narratives. Another layer to this is the breakdown of trust between the Sussexes and traditional UK press institutions. Lawsuits, public interviews, and later revelations, including high-profile media appearances, reshaped how audiences consumed royal news. Once a public figure openly challenges media credibility, audiences start questioning everything on both sides. That environment makes even ordinary events feel suspicious to some viewers. It's also important to remember that no credible medical records, official investigations, or legal proceedings have substantiated the extreme claims circulating online. The birth of Archie was officially announced by the palace, and he remains in the line of succession. That fact alone carries constitutional weight. If there were legitimate proof of misconduct, it would not be handled lightly given the implications. The absence of formal action speaks volumes, even if online debates continue. So where does that leave us? It leaves us with a story about perception, narrative control, and the modern collision between royalty and internet culture. Meghan Markle remains one of the most talked about women in the world, not because every accusation is true, but because controversy sells and ambiguity invites speculation. As content creators, commentators, and viewers, we have to separate verified fact from viral theory. Debate is fair. Questions are fair. But proof matters.